We are now learning that there are multiple guilty pleas in the St. Michael's College School sex assault case in Toronto. Natasha Fata is following the story. So Natasha, what do we know right now?
Andrew, we know that 3 of the students who've been charged in that case did appear in court today in Toronto and have pleaded guilty to a number of the charges. Now, all 3 of them have pleaded guilty to 1 count of assault with a weapon, 1 count of sexual assault with a weapon, and then 1 of the 3 has also pleaded guilty to the distribution of child pornography. You'll remember that all of this came to light last fall actually, when video started circulating in the school and then into the public realm of what was essentially seemingly a hazing incident that took place involving students who were on the school's football team, using a broomstick on one of the students and holding him down. And now this is an elite private school, an all-boys Catholic school in Toronto, and it caused quite a bit of mayhem. 7 students were investigated and charged. 3 of the students no longer face charges. The 4th student still has to go through their legal process. But for the 3 who did plead guilty today, we heard from one of their lawyers who was speaking outside the courtroom just moments ago, saying that the 3 have come forward. They are taking responsibility for their actions, but to keep in mind that these are still children under the law, which is also why we can't name them publicly. Let's have a listen to that lawyer.
These kids were so young and they couldn't fully appreciate their behavior. So I think the takeaway from this, and it's so important, is that as a society and as schools and different institutions are moving forward with their curriculums and with educating their children and our future, we need to ask ourselves, where did we go wrong? And what can we do as a whole and in each one of our institutions to make sure that behavior like this doesn't happen?
So this brought up the larger question of hazing and bullying within the school system, within an all-boys private school. And so we know that St. Michael's College faced a lot of criticism for what took place on school grounds last year. So all 7 of the boys who were in some way investigated and charged have all left the school. Either they were expelled or decided to leave on their own. But the school also carried out an extensive amount of research into what happened there. They also put out a report in August. It was 123 pages with 36 recommendations in terms of creating a new comprehensive strategy to make sure something like this does not happen again, how to talk about bullying, appropriate behavior, the use of social media, all sorts of things. But really, this was a story that got national attention, even though it was one school in Toronto. A lot of people very concerned about how students are interacting and how they're posting seemingly very violent images. Again, 3 students have pleaded guilty to the charges.
All right, Natasha, thank you.
You're welcome.